Graph the function f of x equals log base 3 of x by plotting 4 exact points. Also, draw and label any asymptotes. The first thing we need to do here is find 4 exact points. I would suggest doing this by taking the function f of x equals log base 3 of x, substituting y into the function, and rewriting this as exponential form, being sure to keep your x and y variables in the correct place. And we will be doing something a little different, and that is substituting numbers in for y to get back some x values. So the first number I propose we put in there 3 to the first power. Let's put y equals 1. So over here we will get an ordered pair with a y value 1. And that is simply 3. 3 to the first power is 3, so our x value, when we substitute 1 in for y, is 3. The next coordinate, let's say we want to do 3 squared. Well, the y value here will be 2. And when you square 3, you get 9. So the x value would be 9. So 9 comma 2. To pick a third number, why don't we pick 0? Any number except for 0 to the 0 power is 1. So we will have a y that's a 0 and an x that is a 1. And we need one more point. Right now we have 3, we need 4. Let's say 3 to the negative 1 power. And that gives you 1/3 back for x. So we have 1/3 comma negative 1. Let's look at the graph on the next slide. Over here on the right, I've got the points listed from the previous slide, and then we just have to put them on the graph here in the correct places. So 1/3 negative 1 is about right there. 1, 0, that is on the x-axis, that is an x-intercept. 3, 1, about right there. And 9 comma 2, way over here. And then we just connect these to make it look like a very smooth curve. The final part to this exercise asks you to identify any asymptotes of the graph. As it turns out, there is an asymptote of the graph, and it is right here on the y-axis in blue ink. The vertical asymptote here is x equals 0. And you can find a vertical asymptote by setting the argument of the log, that is what's inside the log, this x. If you take that out and you set it equal to 0 and solve for x, that will be your vertical asymptote. There's no solving to be done here, so the vertical asymptote is simply x equals 0.